What's up, YouTube family? Before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it helps out the show so much. And now, let's enjoy the show.
Maybe he's really good at that smooth talking, that dirt nasty. If he has that much thought processing power in his brain to say what those toes do, he has the processing power to say, I would love to see you next Tuesday.
The SelfHype Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SelfHype Podcast. I am your host, Eli Vasquez, brought to you by Chobo Studios. And this week is a good one. We're going to talk texting in the dating phase. And I'm not talking your boyfriend or the guy you're in a situationship with. I'm talking about when you first start going on a date with someone where it hasn't been established yet. Maybe you guys both swiped right. Maybe you guys went on a date. You're really excited now, and you're wondering if he's interested. You're probably already thinking out the kids' names. You're already thinking out the flower arrangement. Let's pump the brakes, boo-boo, because we're going to dive into what are the red flags to look out for when it comes to texting to see if he's into it or a big old waste of time. And also, because we care about personal wellness and personal development in this podcast, we're going to focus on your anxiousness and how to create some sustainability within yourself and how for you to be an active participant in this texting phase so you feel more in control. Now, if you're loving this podcast, if you're enjoying it, give it a 5-star review. Say some good words about it and all that. It helps out so much. And also check out the Patreon. We have so many goodies for you to connect with me, connect with the show, and get early access to a lot of other things. So with all that said, let's dive into it. What's up, y'all? How's it going? How are you? I don't know why I'm asking that because you can't answer that. But you're listening to me. I just want to say thank you so much for listening to me. I don't care if you're stuck in traffic or, you're just chilling in bed or you're sitting on the toilet. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for riding with me. I always want to take a moment of appreciation. I don't take this lightly. Like, I do not. I'm from the hood, son. Southside Chicago, Northwest Indiana, playboy. So I come from humble beginnings. So you listening to my voice, receiving the value I'm trying to give means the world. So just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But let's dive into it. We're doxing. I want to talk about texting and dating for a lot of reasons. Because one, when I create digital content around texting, it is very popular. And I think it's very popular for a lot of reasons. It's the most uncomfortable phase because we don't know this person, right? And I think it's also the most exciting part because you don't know this person. So in a way, you feel incredibly excited because you have the utmost dopamine and utmost potential and ideology of this person because you had maybe one good date or a couple good dates, and you're like, oh, this is it. This is it. This is my man's. This is him. I don't know his last name, but I get a good vibe. Whatever it is, I could see my kids having that last name. I get it. It's so exciting because we have yet to get to know this person and the fluttering and the butterfly feels are all there. I get it. But do they like us? That's the big thing. That's the other reason why this era of texting in the early dating or the going on date stage, I have to clarify, is so nerve-wracking because we don't know who they are. We don't know their communication style. We don't know the lives that they have. Like, we just swiped right on this person. We just met this person. Like, he can have a whole different life, and we don't even know if he's even that interested in us. So, and also, I will use the word he and she and all that because I know the majority of my listeners are ladies, but this is a people thing too. This is a people thing. So it goes no matter who you are. And I think it's just such a high stakes space where, like, are you about it? Are you interested? Oh, I sent a text. I sent a message. Oh, how come you didn't reply back? Oh, it's been 3 days. I get so many comments and so many questions in terms of this very subject right here. So this is why I want to dive into it because with my content, I could only do short form. And no one wants to be on TikTok for 10 minutes hearing me rant. This is why we have a podcast, which is great. So this is the things I want to hit on. And this is going to be the flow of this show. And I don't know where we're going to put it in the batch of everything else. But what we're going to be focusing on is why we're talking about this. The things to look out for in terms of the external, the other person, the red flags, if you will, in terms of texting. And I'm speaking, from a dude who's been there. I'm straight certified, shorty. You already know what it is. And then we're going to talk about personal wellness. We're going to talk about where it's coming from. What are some of the red flags you have in terms of texting and how to properly address them for you? And I know me red flags. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm a prize, boo-boo. You could be a prize and still be a little dusty. All right. Even Ferraris need oil changes. All right. So don't take it too hard when I say we're going to focus on you a little bit. So, so here's the thing. As a dude, and honestly, anyone who's not interested, because I've dealt with this as well, is like, these are like the 3 signs I'm going to talk about. And maybe some bonus content as well in terms of like why you're feeling disinterested or what are some red flags to look out for. And kind of what I'm going to be talking about is the immature and mature ways to go about it, right? So here's the thing I first want to just list out and say. And this is one of the first red flags. And this is the way to properly go about it. All right. So number 1 is you're texting a guy and he's good. He's good at texting. He's dropping down gems. He's making you giggle. You're at work, but you want to like lay down on your stomach and kick your feet up and just, giggle with glee because he's just making you feel some type of way. Maybe he's really good at that smooth talking. That dirt nasty.
What's up, y'all? Sorry to interrupt. I know you guys are enjoying the episode, but real quick, I want to tell you about the Patreon. You could join it, so many different perks, early access. You can even ask me a question that can even get on this show. So it's all patreon.com/selfhype. Check it out. Now, let's get back to it.
Maybe he's really good at that smooth talking, that dirt nasty, that emoji game that like, yo, these are like cartoon characters, yet it's making me feel some type of way. I didn't know I was into this corner of I may have to switch up my hub strategies here because these emojis are making me feel some type of way. He's smooth with it. But that's it. There's no, hey, let's get some coffee, or hey, what are you doing next Tuesday, or hey, any of that. No, he just comes and goes and spits some game and dips out with nothing. And it's confusing. You're like, okay, well, we had a great date, or we're vibing, or whatever, and he's spitting some mad game, but there's nothing going on. And I want to sit in my feminine, and I don't want, to assert myself, or maybe I did, and it's still nothing. What is going on? Well, this is the thing. If someone's interested, they will make you interested. This is the number one thing is, if he's just spitting game and he has the time and energy to spit game, he has the time and energy to say, what are you doing next Tuesday? Let's get some coffee. He has energy to say, what are you doing next Saturday? Let's grab a drink. If he has that much thought processing power in his brain to say what those toes do, he has the processing power to say, I would love to see you next Tuesday. Like that's the thing you got to understand. So why isn't he engaging? Because he likes you, but he doesn't like you enough. He likes you. You're attractive. You're sweet. You're nice. But he doesn't like you enough to get off the couch. He doesn't like you enough to go out and actually pursue you and spend money on you and take time on you. And you're probably asking yourself, well, Eli, why is he wasting the time to talk to me then? Isn't that a waste of time? Oh, I get it. Logically, yeah, no, for sure. But the thing you got to understand right now is people holler at people to feel good about themselves. Everyone thinks, oh, they're hollering at me because they like me. No, they're hollering at you so you can like them. They're hollering at you because it's a game that they want to win you over. It's a puzzle. It's playing video games to them. But my question to you is, are you a PS5 or are you a Game Boy? Because if you are just stuck in the texting phase and there's no engagement of IRL activity, girl, you're just a Tamagotchi with curves. You're just, a Game Boy. You are a gorgeous Game Boy, a Tamagotchi with curves, a Switch that's getting switched up. And the thing is he doesn't perceive you as someone that is a full-on console. You are his enjoyment, his ego-raising experience, so he feels good about himself as he's in transit. to go holler at his PS5. So he likes you, but he doesn't like you enough. So that is the big thing that you have to hit on, because people have time. And then speaking of time, I want to hit on my second point. Ain't no one that busy. No one is that busy. But Eli, oh, you see. No. Let's slow down a second. Let's slow down before you text him and send him some death threats. I'm gonna slow down when I say this. People do get busy, but people aren't that busy. And I'll explain. So this is where immature and mature comes in, where everyone could send a text and say, I'm busy. But also you could send a text and say, hey, I'm busy, but I think you're amazing. I don't want you to think I'm not interested, but let me holler at you next Tuesday. What are you doing next Tuesday? Or I'm free next Tuesday. Let's grab coffee. That's the difference. Because if he's saying he's busy with no follow-up action or no follow-up check-in or no follow-up, hey, what does this time frame look like for you? He's not interested. Or they're not interested. That just is what it is. Because people do have lives. And it's not about how much they text you. It's about the intention of the text message. Because people, they just met you. They just swiped right on Tinder. They don't know who you are. They're probably dealing with issues with their family. They're probably struggling with work. They probably got other side ladies. Guess what? I'm sorry, but you didn't exist a week ago. So this isn't your knight in shining armor that dropped down because you donated to the church last week. That's not how it works. This is some random dude that the algorithm showed you, and you guys are just seeing if it's going to work out. And we'll talk more about that later. But the difference is you got to look out for is someone who's saying they're busy and they don't follow up or don't set any intention to make you feel safe and secure. And another thing is someone in their maturity saying, yes, I'm busy. I'm going through life. I'm going through XYZ. But what are you doing next Tuesday? The person needs to show interest, because here's the thing. People know what they're doing. And if they don't say it, they're saying it with their actions. And don't forget that. Because people are immature and they're not comfortable having uncomfortable conversations, especially to strangers they don't know. They'll be like, oh, well, I don't know you, so I'm not going to bother to deal with it. So they're just not going to. So they're going to keep you on the side. But what are you doing about it? Are you saying, do I deserve these activities? Am I going to just sit here and wait? Am I also going to enable this behavior? And am I also not going to verbalize what the heck is going on? Or are you still interested or have the uncomfortable questions? Someone has to. Someone has to be an adult in the situation. So why not you? Well, Eli, I want him to lead. I want him to do his thing. Girl, I don't. It's your life. At a certain point, he's just wasting your time. He's wasting your essence. He's wasting your spirit. And there's a man waiting around the corner, picking his toenails, waiting for you to walk across from him so he can say what's good and treat you right. But the longer you're staying in this, the longer you're wasting your time. Number 3 is when he does text you. Now, I know this. So this one is a little back and forth with. So this is what you got to look out for is essentially if they're hitting you up only for the physical interaction. So we all heard it. We all see it. It's the whole the you ups. The what are you up to? Or what are you doing? Knowing damn well it's like 12:30 at night or it's 2 a.m. And what he's doing is he's hoping that you're out and about. He's hoping that you're also boozed up. He's hoping that you're also feeling a little randy and dandy with it, that you were like, sure, yeah, let's kick it. And the beauty of that is, and what I need you to remember, is that if he does do that, that means you are the last case scenario. Or you're the one of many that he's sending texts out to, hoping that something will bite. And I hope you know that, because that's pretty. I know people like to stay in Delulu land a little bit, but I'm trying to get you to a one-way ticket to Realityville. And if you're getting those you ups, you're like the 8th you up. Like you, and I'm not saying you're even the first person he texted. You're probably the 7th, and the 8th person moved to a different country. So the number one thing you got to remember is like, if there is no in between, like Tuesday text, hey, how's your day? Hey, how was work? or remembering, like, hey, oh yeah, hey, didn't you say you had a bad day at work yesterday? Is today any better? That intentional, it requires no physical interaction, but they care enough to check in and say what's up during the week. Like I'm not gaining anything physical from you from this. Maybe, yeah, I'm like hollering at you a little bit, but it's remembering and being intentional versus the 3 a.m. you ups. Because again, you are number 7 of 8. And also, why didn't he hit you up in the beginning of the night to go party with him? It's because he was trying to get something new. That's what it was. So he sees you as that hamburger helper at home. He doesn't see you as the juicy steak dinner at the steakhouse. That's what he was trying to get, and he failed at it. He didn't have enough money in his back pocket. So now he's coming home, digging in the fridge, trying to find that hamburger helper. But are you hamburger helper? Last time I checked, you were a tomahawk with 3 sides. The restaurant only gives you 1, but you have 2 extras. I'm saying that because you got that value, but it's all about how you present yourself. It's all about how you present yourself. So those are the common things. But I really want to hit on the overall green overarching flag. The overarching green overarching flag. And what this is again, and what hits on my point that I was talking about is he will be confident in no matter what he wants out of respect to you. Crazy, right? Yeah, that's right. If he is in his mature, even if he does want to casually bump bellies with you, he will say and verbalize and make it be known to not let you get confused, to not waste your time, to give you the decency of a human being and not a plaything to manipulate and exploit. He sees you and understands you of being someone who has kids, being someone who has a job, being as someone who has a family, who has aspirations, who has goals, and they don't want to waste your time. And they're confident in themselves to say, this is who I am. This is my schedule. I will let you know when I let you know. And then this is because I don't want you to feel MIA and all that. This is kind of where my schedule. What are you doing next Tuesday and all that? You will not feel confused. You won't feel confused because there's respect towards you. And that's the thing. They don't even have to like you to respect you as a person. Crazy, right? There's actual human decency out there where this is just someone I'm getting to know. I don't know if this is going to be my wife. I don't know if this is going to be my person forever, but it's still a person. So I have to be intentional with that and not waste my time. And that is the ultimate thing you want to look out for, is someone who is presenting interest, not texting constantly. Not texting constantly. It's saying, oh yeah, I had a super busy day. Hope your day went well. I would love to see you next Tuesday. Again, I'm getting to know you. I can only get so much done in text. Let's keep meeting IRL. Let's let the momentum get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we'll make it, when we'll start calling and we'll text them more. But if it's early in the phase, it really is about intention and respect and decency. That's really what it comes down to, of what he's doing. But also you should present that as well. And I will say again, I think it's also a red flag if the person does text you constantly. I'm not saying like run for the hills if a guy's texting you a lot, but I'm saying, what kind of world do you think you live in where a random stranger is going to plop into your lap and immediately give you all their attention? Like, life happens. Schedules happen. People go to work. That's a thing. And again, they don't know who you are, but they can at least show you that decency. So if anything, you might be getting to love bomb town if it is super overzealous and they're like, oh my God, I love you and you're amazing and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, whoa, okay, you don't even know my last name. And you're already talking about all this. I'm sure the attention feels amazing. We love attention. But you didn't even know who I was 72 hours ago. And now you want to like get a tattoo of my face on your chest. Like, what's going on? So also be wary of that as well, because they are sprinting towards an idea and they don't even know who you are. And once they realize it was just a mirage, then they'll slow down and then you'll see what their actual runner's pace is. Because love's a marathon. Love is a marathon, not a sprint. So you need to pump the brakes and see who they are, and they'll show you who they are. And they might not even be interested after they figure out, oh, you're not who I thought I was, or when my dopamine was super high or whatever. So I say all this on the external for you to look out for, but I'm going to shift it back to you because we care about personal development. We care about wellness in these streets. That's what we love. That's what we do. So this is how I want you to be active participant in it. And that is,
What's up, y'all? Sorry to interrupt. I know you guys are enjoying the episode, but real quick, I want to tell you about the Patreon. You could join it, so many different perks, early access. You can even ask me a question that can even get on this show. So it's all patreon.com/selfhype. Check it out. Now let's get back to it.
so this is how I want you to be active participant in it. And that is, calm the heck down. Just breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And and here's the thing. If you're struggling with this anxiety and you need someone to be there, Sabrina Zohar says it beautifully. And I recently made a TikTok based on this. She's like, I think there's something that you got to focus on you a little bit. There's an anxiousness attachment style that is so triggered and sparked so early on before you even know a person, where this is an emotional, exhausting experience. And it's non-sustainable because here's the thing. The point is not for this person to give you everything and all the attention and all that. It's to show decent respect and slowly build and see if you even like this person. See if there's even a connection. See if there's even a vibe. But usually where this anxiety comes from is wanting to be wanted, is the fear of someone not choosing you, especially when you're so excited with the idea of them. And it hits onto this inner core of why not me? Or why are you're not interested in me? I'm interested in you. That makes me feel insecure. Oh my God, I feel safe. Oh my God. It's scary. I get it. But if you're that anxious and you're really struggling and needing that constant reassurance, I think we need to take some time for us a little bit and ask ourselves why. Because again, we just met this man. I don't care how amazing your Applebee's date was. You guys just met. And it's important to, again, create a ritual of sustainability. What do I mean when I say that? I mean, create a system, create actions or inactions, because boundaries could be both, that it caters to you in this experience. So if you know you're going to get anxious with a guy that you're really excited about or a person you're really excited about, be self-aware of it. Write it down. If you ain't writing stuff down, you don't care enough. I'm going to be saying that a lot on this show. But it's really important for you to write down, okay, what are my triggers? What are my red flags with this? And and where is it really coming from? Because it's not him. It's coming from something internal. It's coming from something deeper. Because you don't even know what this guy is, yet it's sparking all this. So it's really important you take the time to breathe. Breath work's amazing. Look up some Wim Hof. He's a freaking G. I met the guy myself. And really journal. I think journaling is freaking powerful. Everyone rolls their eyes. I'm like, I hear journaling all the time. You hear it all the time because it works. And if you ain't doing what everyone's talking about and these people are crushing it, you think you're going to rediscover the wheel? Just do the damn journaling. And when I say that is put all this anxiety on the page. Your brain is a cosmic wave of constant communication and constant emotional feelings and waves and turns. It's like you're trying to balance a needle in a thunderstorm. Like, just take it all out on the page so you could see it for what it is. What is this anxiety? Where is it coming from? And what's the worst case scenario if he's not interested? What's the worst case scenario if he does have these red flags? Girl, you were fine before this man. You will be fine after. You lived a whole damn life before him. And you act like if he doesn't text you back, it's the worst case scenario. Please. This is where personal development comes in. This is where raising your vibration comes in. This is where we can't control other people's actions, but we control how we affect it, how we're impacted by it. That is where that comes in. So really take a moment and cut to the freaking chase. When I say ritual sustainability, that's called efficiency as well. So if this man is playing games and you're listening to this podcast and you're like, Eli, this man checked all the boxes and then some. Are you going to keep enabling this behavior? It takes two to tango, boo-boo. A toxic couple requires two. So what are you going to do about it? Oh, I like him. We hung out a couple times. He is busy. He's going through all that. But you're listening to this whole podcast. You listen to me talking about it. You were snapping your fingers and saying, preach, while driving to work, listening to me. So if that's the case, then you got to take some action. Life is short. So I think it's really important to then, if you guys already bump bellies and you think it's significant, tell him and ask, yo, I feel like there's some disconnect here. I'm just wondering when's the next time you would want to meet, if you want to meet. And if not, all good. Again, you are in your power. It's not for him. It's for you. It is for you. And you need to know if this is actually blocking your psyche, because again, there's a man waiting for you. But if you keep in this loop and loop and loop, and men will take advantage of this game forever. He will be texting you. If he's the smooth texter, the first point we're talking about, he'll be texting you as he's walking to the aisle. That's what he'll do. So it's important for you to step out and take action and say, what are we doing? Do you see a future? If not, all good and best of luck. And he'll tell you, or he won't tell you. You're like, nah, girl, I want to be with you and all that. And then he'll just keep playing the same game. And that's your answer. That's really what it is. That's your answer. So I need you to create sustainability within yourself in terms of calming your regulatory state, your stress hormones. I need you to calm those emotional states to get to your logical. And when you get to that logical, create an action that correlates to your higher self, that correlates to self-respect, correlates so it's for you and not for him. Because I want you to remember tomorrow and what it's going to feel like to say, I'm good, dude. Thanks. And the negative feeling of enabling his behavior for another month, another 2 months, another 3 months, until you see on social someone's in a relationship and he ain't with you. With that said, thank you all so much for jumping on this week's episode. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy it, if you're like, Eli, this is dope, I love hearing your voice and your perspective, consider joining the Patreon. Consider joining it. Me and Chobo Studios, we've created a beautiful freaking Patreon experience for y'all, for you to dive in, for y'all to engage, for early access. We do check-ins where I answer your questions. Your questions can make it on the show, and tons of other perks and amazing things. Also, if you're interested in my coaching services, link is in the bio, one-on-one coaching, and my 8-week Heartbreak to Baddie boot camp. So that is all the link in the bio there. Thank you for listening. Brought to you by Chobo. You know what we do, making you the best you in these streets. Thanks for listening again.
The SelfHype Podcast.